Today's guest of the No Cover Charge podcast is Angel Vivaldi, and you'll notice my co-host Jared James Nichols is not with me. Where are you, Jared? He's in the UK on tour right now. Luckily, Angel and I became fast friends in this episode. It feels like I've known the guy for years, and he's so good at guitar, he actually makes me play better. You'll see in the podcast. That's an osmosis effect or something. I can totally understand why friend of the podcast, Steve Morse, wanted Angel in his band. Great guitar player, and more importantly, something I've learned, a personality trait of successful people in my life. He's incredibly humble and just a nice guy. We had a lot of laughs in this episode. And if you know anything about Angel Vivaldi's guitar playing, the dude has incredible tones for days. And yet he told me that he's never plugged into a guitar pedal board. Without further ado, Angel Vivaldi.
I've actually never played through a pedal board. Like, this is my first time actually plugging in through.
You've never plugged into a pedal board?
Swear to God. And I've been playing guitar since I was 14 years old. I'm now 40.
Whoa, dude.
And it's the first time I've ever, like a true, like, oh my God, there's options here.
I'm so glad this one's set up for you, because this is actually like a pretty fun.
This is the one, yeah.
Guitar Hero delay?
I'm sorry?
Guitar Hero delay. It's just like a milky bed of goodness.
Yeah, a milky bed of safety.
Yes, exactly right.
It feels great, man. It's great feeling in, too. Look at that guitar, man. It's a beautiful top on that.
Reliable neck. That's what I think about PRS guitars. Is just like, we want to play in tune. That green PRS also is one like that. That Les Paul, even weird like little Frusciante triads. Oh, not with that tone. You know those Frusciante triads?
Hitting everything but the notes that we're fretting.
Yeah, they're in tune. I was gonna say these.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that kind of warble.
Yeah.
That are always annoying.
Yeah, any guitar doesn't have those true temperament frets.
He tuned his guitar out of tune to play that song, I think. Like he did this.
That's the thing with the traditional guitar. If you don't have those true temperament frets, you technically, if you want to be in tune,
right,
you have to tune to the chord. But the problem is with the true temperament, I mean, I'm very enamored by it. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But if your whole band doesn't have true temperament frets, then you're out of tune with the band.
Yes.
You know?
Which I didn't understand until I tried to use one of those, and I wish I had footage of it. One of these days I'm going to do a true tempered deep dive.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that jamming with other people without them would make you just sound a little wrong.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too, is like it's an imperfect instrument for imperfect humans. So I think it's compatible in that respect.
Yeah.
You mind if I turn this down just a hair?
Yeah.
It said no guitars ever.
Crank it down.
Crank it down. That's a nice sound, man.
I still have the Frusciante G.
Oh, God forbid.
See, I do that when I'm doing a D chord. That's how I kind of get the G back in tune. Because I know if that's in tune, yeah.
D's my go-to chord as well. That same exact one.
Right. Guitars are fun. Angel Vivaldi, welcome to my home.
Glad to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
You're on tour with the Steve Morse Band.
Sure am.
What's the energy in the band, on stage? What's it like?
It's been incredible, man. The energy is interesting because, Steve's always had a trio. There's never been an excellent guitar player, and being the new ingredient, there's the band's energy is just like lightning. It's incredible. Everyone has the very cognizant of space. Obviously, myself, being the new guy in, just being respectful and cognizant of everyone's sonic space. But it's also the fans too. These are people who have been with Steve for decades. I remember when he first announced that he was getting a new guitarist, there was a couple people, of course, that were like, Steve doesn't need a second guitarist, which technically really doesn't.
I would love for you to expand on some of that anxiety later on, but yeah, keep going.
No, it's not even anxiety. It's like, it's a matter of coming into it with a softness and an understanding.
Yeah.
So like, and I would just, because I think that over time, it's a matter of them being so emotionally invested in his music, they want to protect him.
Yeah.
Right?
It's from a place of passion.
100%. And if you come into that with a little bit of compassion, there's no room for anxiety. So you just respond gracefully and you just say, like, listen, I get it. You know, he is the godfather of shred.
Oh yeah,
You know?
he's your favorite guitar player's favorite guitar player. I've heard that about Jeff Beck, but I've also heard someone like Petrucci
100%.
say Steve Morse. So he's among those shred fathers,
Yeah.
as we'll say.
Yeah. Every note that I play is like what Steve wants, you know, and I think it's important that the audience also supports what Steve wants, you know, and when you approach it from that aspect, if they really do care, then they understand that defense and protection that they had, sort of like, no, this guy actually is helping. He's here to help. Steve being the tone god that he is, which is that's where Petrucci gets it, you know, like
Sure.
that care of frequency. I'm like, Steve, what frequency is A? 110. You know, like he's just
Wow.
he just cares that much. So, you know, essentially I've redone my entire tone patch like 3 times already, you know,
Okay.
and every day is sort of like tweaking a little bit because the rooms are different.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
so
That's a big part of it when you're performing. It's like, yeah, this is how it sounded here, but oh no. And you have to have the malleability with the tone to, it sort of has to be good in different places, which is probably difficult in itself to have something reliable like that.
yeah, and they're tweaking. So when they tweak, I gotta, like, you know,
Yeah.
compliment them. But again, it's a wonderful learning experience in terms of playing for another instrumentalist, you know, and just knowing the songs, because it has a lot to do with dynamic. So you have to have tones that have a little bit of headroom to
Yeah.
dig in a little bit more when you need to, but back off when you need to as well. So
Yeah.
volume knobs is my best friend.
I see. Very good. I've heard that from some of my favorite players, so it's no stranger to that concept. I met you virtually. You know how people just meet? You see someone enough online, it's like, I know that person.
Yeah.
We never
Yeah.
actually met until really today, but
Yeah.
I was aware of your guitar skills and your cool production style and, you know, your sick outfits. Like, I know you planned some of that. Like, it didn't just accidentally look cool. So, you know, your whole vibe I was aware of in the early days starting out. So,
Again, my apologies.
yeah, you know, man.
My condolences.
I loved it.
I'll send you flowers.
The point is that the guitar playing always stood out to me. So, your guitar playing, it makes sense why you would be asked to be in the Steve Morse Band.
I mean, it's just insane. I mean, he can get any guitars in the world. I mean, any guitar, they would do it for free, you know? I think the thing that appealed to him about me was, so my last record, obviously I'm known to do, like, you know, progressive instrumental stuff. My last record was a huge departure from that. It was all Latin jazz and funk and acoustic and, you know, it was just all over the place, very different. It's the music that I grew up playing. The first time I ever played music was at church, you know, and the music that we would be playing was, you know, I'm Hispanic, so it was like salsa, merengue, bachata. So we would take like old school Mark Anthony songs
Cool.
from like the 90s, and they would change the lyrics to be, you know, religious. And
That's
then,
fun.
Yeah, it was.
That's
it
a pretty
was.
fun time.
It was.
If
It
you're
was a
not into church or something and you go and you enjoy the music,
Yeah.
you know, as some people take the path, that can be like a way to, you know, keep the faith.
For sure,
or
yeah,
what
that's a
have you.
beautiful way. That's a good way to put it. But I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood, Hispanic and African American. So that was their way of getting, you know, people into the church because it gave them something to relate to. They knew the songs, you know, and dancing was a huge part of me growing up. So like that was all intertwined in there as well. But that versatility and finding space, like there's no electric guitar in Mark Anthony songs or Elvis Crespo songs, but at 16 years old, I had to find a space. So that always stuck with me. And even in the house, listening to like George Benson, Sade, and even into rock, which is, I had a really rough time, very rough time, because you have to understand, you know, no one in my town listened to anything with a guitar.
They weren't into it?
Dude, I had a very, very difficult time playing guitar. There was no support in the family. They were just like, what are you doing, you know? So once I got into, you know, that sort of music, it was very gradual. First record I ever got was Jules' Pieces of You. Then from there it was like Hanson and Savage Garden. Then it was, you know, Meredith Brooks, Alanis Morissette. Then Bush.
That's
Nirvana.
All right, we're getting, yeah. All right,
And
now we're
then
pivoting.
Metallica,
Yeah.
Megadeth, Testament, then Soilwork, In Flames. So it's very, very, very gradual. So you have to understand, I'm coming from like funk, Motown, jazz, Latin, Hispanic, Spanish, merengue, stuff like that, to very da-da-da-da. So I feel like I hit every musical speed bump, and every musical speed bump like really impacted me. And I think what it is for me, I feel like you'll probably get this answer a lot too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people who do metal and they're like in their mid 30s, going into their 40s, I'm 40 now. You often hear them say that they don't listen to the music that they play. I think Misha said this recently, like metal's not his favorite genre or something
I see,
like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I hear this a lot, and I think part of it is because when we're teenagers, it's sort of like we speak this language of angst. And I feel it's a language that we learn how to speak our emotions through, and some of us get really good at it, you know? And we get known to do that thing. And when you pivot or do something different, the people who are attached to your music maybe have a hard time. And I knew that going into my last record with Words Part 2.
Going from shred and huge epic breakdown type music to going in a different direction, that's always going to garner some maybe confusion. It's like, wait, isn't it, this type of thing that I'm expecting from Angel? Or in that case, it could be any band. I feel like my favorite bands tend to sound like themselves, but the albums never sound the same. And I sort of look forward to that. Radiohead's one of my favorite bands that does that. And there have been multiple times where bands have been outraged at their albums. And that's sort of like one of my favorite parts about them. And they end up being things that I return to. And I don't think that's the same as like maybe the Taylor Swift thing where it's like, I think we just don't like this one.
Yeah.
The Radiohead situation is like, oh, we just maybe don't understand. And that could be a genre thing as well, where she's like pop icon and they're, niche icon, whatever you want to say. But the point is, growth or change among your art that you're putting out, I don't think it should be shied away from, but I understand how people can get in a lane and then be like, well, shoot, this is working for me and it's hard enough to get to this stage. So here I will stay. And that can be a dream for many people until you get there. And then it's like, you change your opinion on things.
Especially like, big pop stars as well. It's like, like you said, once they're paying a number of people's salaries, and a lot will depend on them to do a certain thing.
That is another characteristic of bands that I love, is they never album tour. It's always like, maybe there's an album, nothing. Tour? Yeah, oh. Or album tour, oh, nothing.
Yeah.
It's the hiatus, I think, is where the great art is made. And I wish I could take my own advice. I love doing these things because I always look back and I'm like, I said that, right? I had that thought.
Here's a link.
Here's a link to myself. Because, yes, I wish I could take this advice that I'm saying right now, which is hiatus yields great art. I think the bravery that you're talking about, the bravery to be like, well, maybe I will just, prioritize this other thing, for better or worse. That bravery hasn't been available to me in quite some time, but I think it's growing. And maybe the other people paving the way in whatever means that is, or whoever your influences are in your life, I feel like that's becoming more and more of a potential real thing, as opposed to like, you gotta grind, you gotta hustle.
Man.
The grind culture, can we
Jesus Christ,
is
how
it
much
time
time
to
do
slow
we
that
have,
down,
dude?
or no? Or am I about to get ousted of the grind culture? You forget the little things are actually the important things in the stuff that you do. It's like, I don't really want to offload this part of it necessarily if it's actually the part that you enjoy the most. Like, I don't have a video editor. I think editing is just as much of an art form as writing music. Like, win an Oscar for best video editing, film editing, I should say. So, that sort of thing I learned throughout doing this is like, oh, I love doing this. I would never, but to other people, it's crazy. Do you believe anything else that other people think is crazy?
You know, picking up a guitar and deciding you want to do it, have a career, that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
crazy,
pretty nuts.
But like you said, editing is a language,
Yeah.
like there's a pacing to it, there's a style to it, just like someone has a guitar phrase, like how many YouTubers have that, a specific way that they jump cut that's unique to them, like Casey Neistat's a perfect example back in the day,
Yes, yeah.
his style, and that signature to him is sort of like it's like tone is the same thing. Anyone who's familiar with my music videos know, like, I have, full-on dance groups in some of the videos. I have some, wardrobe is incredibly important. I love fashion because the thing is, like, even what I'm wearing, like, you're in silence, you're communicating something, right? Even if you don't care about what you wear, you're still communicating something, whether you like it or not. You're communicating that you don't care, right?
Right. That's true.
And same thing with the guitar. If someone walked in here with a Strandberg, I know exactly what type of music they're going to play.
Yeah.
With an 85% accuracy. Come out with an Nabasi, I know exactly with 100% accuracy that I know what they're going to play.
Right.
And it's one of the reasons why, I played Ibanez for many years back, 10 years ago. And one of the reasons why I went to Charvel was because you don't know what I'm going to play. Like, you sort of might have an idea, but at the time they had Jakey Lee, Warren DeMartini, and Guthrie. Those were like the three, and Joe from Gojira they had at the time.
Cool.
So that's like when they're all really, really different. So.
And they're all like proficient masters of their instrument.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the guitar that you use, and I say this, I have an artist services company, and I do a lot of branding and marketing for artists who just need help with that stuff. Mm-hmm. And when I work with the guitarist, I'm like, you have to understand that, if you don't want to be pigeonholed in X, Y, and Z, you can love the guitar all you want, but you're communicating something. They're seeing a thumbnail of you play that guitar. Like, for instance, when I'm doing a signing at like NAMM or something,
yeah.
If someone comes up to me, he's like, oh, no. You're the guy with the purple Kiesel, right? And they're like, holy shit. I don't know their names,
right?
But I know that they play a purple Kiesel, Mm-hmm. So
I was the guy with the green PRS forever.
Yeah,
oh, dude, that green PRS, right?
Yeah, and like if people saw that green PRS as a signature, they'd be like, that's Tyler's guitar,
yeah.
But that's the thing. So these are opportunities to communicate. So again, when you go to my Instagram and you see it like really symmetrical, I care about what I do in life to such a degree where I want to put thought into every little thing. And working with people who can get the best out of you too, who can see your blind spots.
Yeah.
My band's been with me since 2007. Same guys. Mm-hmm. They've been on every record. And how I describe it often, and I tell this to bands too, because obviously being in a band's, dude, it's hard. It's really, really hard being in a band. Because you have to get along with all these eccentric personalities, and musicians are all screwy. We all are quirky people, and creatives are like that in general. So you're trying to get four creatives to get into a musical marriage, and all sorts of temperaments and different experiences in life, and hard to delegate that, especially when you're on the road, because the road is sort of like, it's like a marriage or a wedding or a funeral. Either brings out the best in people or the worst.
That's pretty good, yeah.
It can also not be good too.
Well, I mean, like that's a good. I mean, not good. It's a good analogy. Yeah. When you get a divorce on the road, it's good stuff.
It's rough, And the thing is too, when you're in this culture of that you add the fuel of the grinding.
Yeah.
And the anxiety of, if I don't do this, they're gonna forget me. Mm-hmm. And to a degree, it's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. Because when you drop the baton, some kid is going to pick it up, but you have to balance that with like, listen, music is the biggest part of my life. It is not my life. Like, I have a family, I have people who I really care about. Mm-hmm. I have artists that I work with. Steve's one of them. We help him with management stuff as well. And that's the thing, when you pigeonhole yourself with one thing in life, man, like, in my humble opinion, it cheapens the privilege of being alive, because God forbid, you wake up tomorrow and you can't play guitar, or you can't speak, you lose your voice for some reason. You're not a content creator anymore. You're not a musician anymore. What am I? You have those moments of like what you are.
I'm an guitar and amp storage owner. That's what
That's
I
a
am.
pivot. That's a pivot.
Dude,
Because Lord, you have.
I am the guitar shop owner who does not speak or whatever my ailment is. He put me in a glass cage next to my guitars.
You look at someone, you assess their aura, and you point to a guitar, and then you pick it up, and they walk away.
Yeah, I'm the sorting hat of guitars. Is what I become.
That's the thing, but some people don't have the capacity to do that pivot, because they identify themselves.
It's easier said than done. Yeah, I have to make light because it's so horrifying to imagine having.
For sure.
You have, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. So
yeah.
I've learned that, and I think that it's easy to take a lot of little things for granted in your guitar rig setup. It could be as simple as that. It's like you have the tone all the way up as big to stuff in life.
You have to be very tactfully honest with yourself, not brutally honest, because people who are brutally honest,
oh, that's a good distinction.
They do not care about the honesty. They just care about the brutality.
Sick people.
Sick LA.
Yeah, is that right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I've
literally only heard stories. But,
another place that'll bring out the worst or the best in people.
Cool.
But I think it's a matter of being tactfully honest with yourself. You don't want to be hard on yourself. Just like, what am I interested in doing? What am I willing to do? What am I willing to learn? Because the thing is, it's like, I think that if you allow your ego to take the wheel, floor the gas, and put on the signal lights, it's like you're really going to be in for a world of trouble. I think if you're like, all right, I'm really good at this, but I really suck at this. All right, it's like a if this then that.
Yeah.
All right, do I want to be good at that? No. Okay, I can hire someone to do that. How do I make the money to do that? All right, well, maybe I have to get a day job. Yeah, and then you end up at a destination, then you have to sort of like work your way back down.
Yeah.
To achieve those things. But like for instance, for me, like I have saved probably 6 figures doing my own videos, right?
That's definitely an understatement because you've made a lot of videos and I know how much one of them costs when you outsource it.
And even then, like they're really, really expensive because again, locations, wardrobe, but it's that softness and in terms of like knowing what you're really good at and hiring people who, like for instance, I never tracked myself in the beginning, but I learned how to track an engineer through watching Will Putney, who is one of the most amazing top level heavy producers in the world right now. He did a majority of my records and I would just watch him cut and comp. I'll ask him questions, It helps shooting your own documentaries because I could just relive the experience and see what he's doing. But again, that was something I was like, all right, I'm going to learn how to do this because I feel like I need to, and I want to see if I'm good at it. Like my first tour, I TM'd, tour manage my first tour. I realized that I don't have the personality to do it. You have to be, it's hard for a TM, an artist to be a tour manager because you have to advocate for yourself and you have to be a little bit of a dick. And I have a hard time, like... I can't
do that, especially when I want everyone to like me, when I'm, going to their venue and having a good time. Like,
yeah.
It's hard enough for me to tell the waitress that this is undercooked. I'm going to be like... Oh.
Yeah, with a tear coming down your eye,
Right. So it's tough. And also, what about the stress it alleviates off just one less hat that you're wearing?
And that's why you have to leave your ego at home and just be honest with what you're good at and not good at and what you're willing to be good at. Morse said no more.
That was sick, dude. I say we just leave it at that one.
That's fine with me, man.
Dude, that was
Great
great.
track, man. It's a lot of fun.
I found that jam. I've been cleaning out my closet, you know, of riffs. That was one of the ones that didn't get deleted.
Nice, man. Well, for good reason. It sounds great.
You fucking rock, man. You're
thanks,
just as
man.
awesome as you've always been.
Well, I have my moments.
You've not always been this way?
Definitely not. Yeah, man, you sound great, dude. Good tone.
Thanks, dude.
Great playing.
I'm getting my ass kicked weekly doing stuff like this, hanging with people, and it's humbling. And it's always fun because I feel like I have an expertise in something just like everybody else does. Yeah. But being in the guitar world, you want to offer something that's not technical anymore. I don't think that's like the bar, like the 80s style. How fast can you shred? It's more of like, how much do you really love this guitar? And like, how much do you really do with it in the guitar community these days? If there is even a Nashville scene versus LA versus New York versus
not
whatever.
Anymore,
I think
right?
it's all just one scene, right?
It is. It used to be like back, I remember in 2007, I was thinking about doing that LA move because the location back then still sort of mattered.
Yeah.
But now it's like the zip code is the internet.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're living on there, you're all right. Like I've seen people in like the most remote places in the world, like have the most amazing careers. Yeah, dude, like it's the same thing with me playing with Morse, man. Like watching him improvise, dude, it's like fucking, it's just crazy. Because the thing is like he has to not only improvise because he has, you know, his arthritis in his hand and stuff like that. But like that's the thing with him, man. It's like, aside from like guitar shit, like his biggest talent in life is adaptation. Like,
cool. That's
imagine
good
learning how to play guitar, right? And you're playing that way for 40 something years. And then one day you can't anymore.
Yep.
And you know, especially when you're in that mature demographic, like it's just easier to stop and it's easier to just be like, I'm done. Not this guy. This guy's never, he's always going to find a way. Like, so he just changed the whole way that he alternate picks. Like, no big deal.
Yeah.
Let me just,
if anyone can do it, it's going to be that guy.
it is, man.
Yeah.
So like, but I get that, man. Like not many people pivot like that.
Well, I was going to ask you what's, you know, we got to get you out of here because you got sound check for Steve Morse gig soon.
Yeah,
but
what time is
I
it?
was going to ask you what...
Oh, it's 4:30. I still have a little bit of time. I don't know how much time you have.
We don't want you to get stuck in this ridiculous traffic that all of a sudden exists here in this city.
Fair enough.
But the main takeaway, I guess that's the main philosophy you've taken from Steve. But what's one thing that you've learned from him just about your guitar upkeep, perhaps?
Steve, again, he knows frequencies, he knows tone, he knows how to make certain things happen, impedance and ohms and stuff like that. He taught me, as much as I love and I know how important tone is, he taught me that I have very little interest in learning about that. So I'm going to hire someone to do it.
That's so awesome. He taught you what you don't want to know.
Yes.
That's so sweet.
So we got this tour. I believe we have a couple more tours coming because Steve's releasing a record. And then next year, 2026, I have a concept record of my own that I'm working on at the moment. Xenith Counsel keeps me pretty busy. Which is great. I love doing
Xenith Counsel.
Xenith Counsel.
Okay.
Yeah, with their
I'll
next.
link that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been such a boat of enjoyment in my life that I love doing. I love, again, helping artists have a vision if they don't have a vision of their own. Not that you need one, but as long as you have good songs, I think you'll be all right. Charvel, I don't have my new guitar with me, but we just released a new signature 7-string 7 Nova, which is just, I love that guitar. I've been playing mostly 6 since the 2020 or something like that.
Yeah.
But for the new record, I'm going back to 7s for rhythm. It's gonna be another heavy record. I use that term.
Is that right?
Yeah, I have to do that.
How heavy?
How heavy? Well, I'm still in B standard.
Yes.
You know, so it's not that heavy to the kids these days.
That's not heavy anymore, man.
You know, you have to be in drop E sharp.
Yeah, we're gonna invent a new note soon, I think.
Seriously.
NAMM show this year.
I'll be at the NAMM show.
I haven't been in a year or two. It's been, I can't remember, but point is I'm going this year.
Yeah, it's like a blur, man. Yeah, I went to this past one, because there's always like, NAMM's not the same. It was great, dude.
It's the same,
it was
or
amazing.
it's back, I would say.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, but I took a couple years off to myself. But having a new guitar is important to, you know, rep it and
Name it up.
show your fame. Yeah, you know, so I'll definitely do that. And we'll see where else the universe brings me.
Cool, man. Well, it was an honor chatting with you and getting to play. Can't wait to keep following along
Oh,
the interwebs.
likewise,
the
man.
universal zip code.
Seriously, man. But thank you so much for having me, man. I really, really appreciate your time.